Hello, Mercs out there. How you all doing today on a wonderful, wonderful Saturday? The weekend is here. A little bit of a long day at work for me, but nevertheless, I am here. We were able to get started at a good time. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. If you ever have problems with brigands, monsters, or the struggles of everyday life, I am the mercenary for the job. I am Zenny, mercenary VTuber for hire, at your service. Hope y'all having a wonderful day. Hope y'all enjoy today's stream. And today we're doing something a little bit different from what we normally do. It's a little bit of another sort of like casual stream, and had to do a little bit more of these early casual streams because of sort of like working out schedules for a certain other thing that we're going to be getting back to next week. But it has been sort of like at least a little bit of fun being able to do some of these like casual stuff. And today we're doing the Stanley Parable. This is an interesting little game. It's a game of choices, or the illusion of choices? Maybe choices. But it's also a story of mundane activity. And a story of absolute madness. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Glad that you are here as well. But yeah, as I said, the Stanley Parable is an interesting little game, isn't it? Not one of like incredible sort of like character work or stuff like that. It's just see how well you can stand the stand of. All right, it's supposed to be a Stanley's worst day ever. Yep. But yeah. What if going to work every single day was just Groundhog Day? Just going back to it again and again and again and again and again. But yeah, that is what we are going to be doing today. So I'm hoping that you are all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Pretty much like I said earlier, today was a little bit of a longer day for work. And you had to do a lot of traveling. Wasn't necessarily sort of like the stops. It was just more of just sort of like long driving that I had to deal with today. But yeah, my personal call Groundhog Day, the video day. Why do you have to bring that up, Yalcian? It's always Groundhog Day for me when it comes to streaming and getting staked and yeeted and. I've always enjoyed watching people play Stanley. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, that is what are you doing today? So let's go ahead and get things set up here. So just give me a moment to get things started. But if you guys would like to let us know how you are doing today, I would very much appreciate it to hear how you guys are doing. Hoping that your guys' start to the weekends are going very, very well. Doing fine. Glad to hear it. All right. Yep, here we go. You are playing the Stanley Parable. This is the original version. This is not the updated version. So we're not playing the deluxe version. So, all right. Been doing 200cc because Mario. Ooh, nice. All right. So let's begin. The end is the end is never the end. Is never the end is never the end. It's never going to end. All right. Just got to wait for this thing to load. And we'll get right to it. Ah. And there we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh. I would
Stanley
imagine.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
That sounds like the most boring job ever.
It's soul-lending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh.
What could it mean?
Stanley I don't know what it means.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Maybe the rapture happened. Huh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. I guess, what's going on here?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I say, where the fuck is everyone? And why do I have a British narrator inside my head?
To his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Oh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Oh.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Except that you just told me.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Uh. So I press. It's snarkier than my other voices. Yeah, pretty much. Oh. Oh. And okay, this is where we die. Well, goodbye.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh. So we're controlling minds, huh?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I should have listened to the Irish voice when I tell me get drunk. God damn it. Oh, and
now the
lights,
jumped to life.
Camera.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
And action.
This mind control.
Yeah. You know, my doctor keeps telling me not to listen to voice in my head.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Why couldn't the voice have been a sexy...
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, and no. Okay, we're... Oh. Nope. Oh. That's not what I was supposed to push. What am I supposed to push? Oh. Maybe this button here. I guess we're mind controls, idle, waiting input. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Uh, uh, it all went dark. As Stanley continued pushing around over his the new form of shut up voices. Yeah.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles...
You will follow my orders,
Where
follow
had
my
his
every command.
co-workers gone?
Well,
How
for
had he
this
been
first
freed from the machine's
thing, we're
grasp?
gonna follow the
What other
commands.
mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Well,
It
but
was
one thing's for
perhaps
certain, I'm gonna need a
the
new
only
job.
thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ah. Okay. Is this the end? No. This is just merely the beginning. Now it's time for choices to be made. Yep, we're back at 427. Oh, what the fuck? Oh,
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
well.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door,
So it'll be
I
5
can make
minutes
it
there,
through
Raider.
them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Come on. See if we can. Oh, turn off computer. Yep, we're turning off all the still active computers this time. For all I know, I could be on drugs and not know it. Yeah, pretty much. Nope.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Shut up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No,
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Man, if only there was other doors that we could
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I would be able to drink it all in, but apparently I can't pick up any of the coffee mugs or order anything from the.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yep. And all the doors are locked. Did everyone just leave without telling me? Yeah, pretty
At
much.
this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Okay, fourth wall broken. Wait. Hold on a sec. Let me. Okay, fuel. I was about to say, all I saw from a certain angle was just the first first 2 letters, and I was like,
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of the cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. Apparently, 5,000 is not really anything because you're gonna die no matter what.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her?
This
Who?
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, why did... Oh. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh. Hello? Moshi Moshi? Oh. Well,
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Did this game just really have to hit me in reality?
No! None of that! Shame on you!
Uh,
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly
Gonna get my
what
fire
he's
head
told
to
to
close
do.
it down, destroy it.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work
No,
was
no,
a
it's
reminder
fine.
that
It's
none
fine.
of
It
it
doesn't
ever
bother
happened.
me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a
Seriously,
baby.
you can't
And
jump.
he called
Seriously,
it
we
the
disabled it.
Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope. that it
Yeah,
would
pretty
never
much. We're
end,
on
that he
drugs
might
now.
always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Started to despise it.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die. Please die. Okay. At this point, I'm preferring death to this. Well, we're back at the beginning here.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Pull gun? Sure. Hey. Yeah, narrator, please shut out.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
All right. Computer to turn off. Another computer to turn off. Sorry.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's see if there's any branching sections for this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Oh, there we go. Ah, yes, there is a
Coming
branch.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're going downstairs this time.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah.
Doors close automatically behind him wherever he went. And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon.
No, it's just the drugs.
Go back to my boring
It's the
real-life
drugs.
job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very
Inception.
odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Is this my
Hearing
car?
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is
I thought you said earlier that I didn't have a wife.
It's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No one here is normal. Absolutely no one here is normal. Everyone is weird. Everyone is tripping balls. Oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Everything went black, huh?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment,
I noticed that
she
the
thought to herself how
Discord
lucky she
has
was to be normal.
hasn't
I am
posted
sane.
Dead Dolls Live,
I
so
am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the
hey, Mercenary BDU, how's it going? We're exploring the different options and the different paths of the Stanley Parable.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood.
I got the physical
staring
switch
down
copy
at
of this
the body.
game at 1%.
And then
Nice.
she turned and ran.
Well, we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yep. Okay. Turn that one off. Turn that one off. Ooh, that one is door 437. No. I'll swear on the drugs if you stop talking to me, narrator. Nope. Why won't you let me go into other doors? All right. Nope, nothing here. This time, yeah, I think I have another idea as far as what we can do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No. I'll probably stick it in the employee lounge for a little bit, but not gonna stay there for...
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, let's...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. We're going down.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Script?
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
How come I get the feeling that this thing's gonna run me over? Oh!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh.
When Stanley... Wait.
Oh.
What? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
It just came back from a walk
Did you
earlier
change
with
anything when we were back in that room with
services.
all the monitors?
Look
Did
at...
you move
Ooh,
the story
nice.
somewhere or hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Let's take this one. Oh. Illusion of choice. do we got over
I'll
here?
say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nope, leaving is never an option. Unless you actually follow all the orders to the letter, then leaving is an option.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
And
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
no,
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
hey.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
oh, we won.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay?
Oh, are
I'm
you
getting
really
weirded
taking
out
away
by
a wait
whatever
for
this
me?
place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
My therapist is going to be a rich man after this. Oh,
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is
I
that?
feel insulted. I feel insulted of this. I'm just trying to have adventures, and you just want me to do. Oh, you're not even taking me on the. You're not even taking me on the
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
yeah.
I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What kind of Looney Tunes shit is this line going through? And is this line trying to find a story or Planet X? Yeah, it's. This is some Roadrunner shit that we're going through here.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
A fern.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
No.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You
Okay.
won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Okay, so a little bit taller than me. All right. Yay wide. Okay. Well, I'm guessing it'll have importance some side.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
And we're back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't
Wait,
take this
employee
anymore. To hell with it.
employee fired.
Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh. Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path.
Hey, Alcor
a new
64.
story, anything. What do you
I'm
want
not
our
looking
story to
for
be?
help right
Go
now. I'm
wild.
just
Use
going
your
around, just
imagination.
roaming around, just
Whatever
trying
it might
to
be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
just having fun here. Just doing random stuff and hey.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay. Oh, wait. Where did the line went all the way up there? Okay, good. The line was never useful to begin with.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
They're not going to let me go through the other one. Oh, okay. Oh.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be.
I find the
don't want it to
confusion.
be.
Oh,
I don't
oh
want
my
the game
goodness.
to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
Oh.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Oh.
Well, in the meantime...
Oh. And restart?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There is other options for the right, so...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Alright.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace, its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
No.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. I actually will not.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey. This time...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've
nope.
forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No. Been leading me through all this random bullshit, so...
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I picked the white door. Crud. This time we'll...
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, and...
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What is... Oh.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Impressive light show, but what does it all mean?
No, wait. Where are you going?
I don't...
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Well.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the... No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
And...
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No, we'll take it. We'll jump
My
off
God.
again.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
We'll come back here.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
And we're fading to... Wow. This is an impressive light show that going, but what is it all about? Why do I feel unsafe here? Well, at the very least, at least visually, I now look like I'm taking all the drugs. They won't let me do. Huh. Huh. Ah, okay. Well. Well, it's not objecting to it, so.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yep. Oh, and
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I see memos all over the floor here. Let's actually go for the actual ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, executive bathroom. I've got the feeling money is for stealing, but not yours, of course. So that's a lovely purse. Mirror can't even reflect. Or maybe I'm just a vampire. Oh. Oh. Elevator music. Been in this elevator quite a bit. Is the narrator beatboxing behind in the background? Oh. Still a shorter elevator ride than the one in Neon Jazz. Wait. What did I just not?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nope.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the... Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be 2845.
Nope.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Really? nothing back here. Okay. Well. Alright, so is there branches from this one?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ooh, escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, that's an escape.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. What kind of death is this?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Well.
Farewell, Stanley,
No.
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Apparently not. Oh. And we got a different narrator this time. A Stanley.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Don't know.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Yeah, that's the exact pathing that at least the start section had. Ooh. And these are all the paintings on the walls. Huh. Ooh, solitaire. The Stanley Parable credits. Huh. So the Museum of the Stanley Parable, huh? Oh, Warzone. Where was this? I never saw anything like this. Narrator emails. Yeah, apparently the different versions of Stanley's office. Huh. Monitor room, elevator. Oh. The back rooms. There was no levers that I had to deal with earlier. Oh, there's the oh.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Oh.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
And we're dead. We got crushed to death. I was thinking about going back to the menu and... Huh. Do I actually have to quit back to the menu, or... I guess I have to. Oh. No, let's begin the game again. Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anyway.
Oh, we already did this one.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Now let's try that again. Don't want to be subjected to the exact same thing. Oh!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Welcome to the whiteboard ending.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish what it... Coming to a staircase,
Yeah.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's see if there is anything different about the
moment he entered his
whiteboard.
manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
All right, what's different about this whiteboard ending?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Yep.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad.
We'll make a comment if you
walking,
input the
eating, working,
before he's
all of it monitored
the code.
and commanded from
Okay.
this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
No problem.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
You know what? Let's turn it on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story,
We'll try it. We'll try
you're
it
gonna
out.
have to do much better than that. I'm
A future
afraid you
go
don't
through
have
it, but
nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Oh, and we blew up. All right.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, we're gonna try to. What was it?
When Stanley came to a set of
8,
two
2,
open
4,
doors,
5.
he entered the door on his left.
Or was it 2, 8, 4, 5?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm not. How dare you? How dare you even
Stepping
suggest
into
it?
his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
The same energy as that. Yeah, pretty much. So you're just not gonna let the big bad evil guy for this particular arc just get his villain speech in? Well, time to roll initiative. Going for that 10-year achievement. Ooh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
Just give me one moment. There we go.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Man.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Okay, so once you
That
hit
was
that
all he needed
power
to know.
off, you're locked into this.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh,
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
all right. So let's see if we can explore another possibility. All right. Actually, you know what? For this particular instance, chat,
All of
you
his
guys
co-workers were
direct me
gone.
as far as where
What
to
did it
go.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I
No
will
matter
do my
how
best
hard
to
Stanley
obey
looked, he
your
couldn't find a
guys'
trace of his
directions this time.
co-workers.
Go out the window? I don't see a window to go out of. I do know it's is there a specific window to go out of? Climb the deck. Oh, okay. Climb this. That's all white, huh? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I don't see anything for. Huh. Yep. Yeah. Not sure how I'm supposed to use the chair. I'm trying to use. Try the other side.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
Oh, there.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Crouch walk. Let's hold on a sec. There we go. Oh, there we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Well. I guess we restart. Or do we wait? As I said, I'm listening to you guys. Wait a bit longer? Okay. And we'll go ahead, crouch down. Just that, I guess this is what it feels like to be in the time chamber from DBZ. Just an endless white void. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, let's. All right. Let's go ahead, restart it. Oh, and
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under...
No, I'm gonna reset that one. I don't want to do the exact same one as well.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing? No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized
We're gonna
it was
do
part
we're
of the
gonna do
game's
this again, but we're
design
gonna
all along.
select the
He
other
then
one.
praised the game for its insightful
Has some
and witty
Mickey D's for
commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Yeah, I already know I'm unbearable. Just the eternal void, 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 void.
Now, this is epic.
Yeah, this is epic. Just an epic void. Nope. Oh. Let's go ahead and reset it. All right.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
I think another. I think I remember one path that I need to sort of explore.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood, but eager to get back to business,
Yep.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not sure.
yeah, I gotta take the wrong
I
door,
realize that investing your trust in someone else
the
can be
quote-unquote
difficult,
wrong door
but the
at
fact
this
is
sort
that
of
the story
optional
has
path
been
down
about
here.
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, we're going to the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Ah.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, we're going for
I
the
still
blue.
don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark.
Well, you don't.
and
You
decide.
actually don't let
Give
me
some
give
feedback.
any input.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Well, I guess so.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yeah.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Oh. That's a lot of popping. You are up to the ranked 9,328 out of. God damn it. I'm gonna ask for some friends for some help. That sure is going for quite a bit. Wow. It's still going. It's still going.
Now, say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors. Again, honest answers, please. Hey,
No.
I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the
Despite you.
latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What are we gonna play? Oh.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Enough. Well, I'll say this.
Not
I'm
all-
making things for you.
Not only have I
From
gotten
now
to
on, I
a
will only
game
create
that's
to fulfill a greater
currently having a
artistic
really bad
purpose.
adaptation
Watch this,
be
Stanley.
made of it,
I'm going to
but I
build a
can't even
house.
do half the functionality that.
This will go here, no, here, and then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
This is a trap, but we'll activate the trap.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
All right.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No, I have not.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
We didn't even go for the diamonds. Oh, and
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
right now I'm missing GLaDOS. There we go. Wait. We don't have the ability to check that out, but. Put everything in the toilet. Come on. There we go. There we go. Well. Ah, okay. I'm so used to doing the stuff.
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So
Oh, and oh. Oh. Alpha 10. Oh, and we're falling all over the place. I feel like I'm in the back rooms. Oh, I see a light. Oh, 427. Are we in the Matrix for some reason? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
All right. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and end it here for tonight. I'm starting to get a little bit on the tire side, but yeah, I'd say this was a nice little experiment of a game, and yeah, I very much appreciated you guys joining me for this. So yeah. So with that will do it for tonight. I will be working on next week's schedule in the little bit of time that I have left for tonight. I'll try and post. I'll try and post it on the Discord server sometime tonight. But yeah. I believe, yeah, like the only like major things that are going to be happening next week. We've got the end of Ace Attorney 1 on Tuesday. We've got the start of Trails of Cold Steel 3 on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. And we've got the D&D campaign Wings of Light and Dark coming back on Saturday. It has been several weeks because of scheduling sort of conflicts with the members, but we are back. We're going to be going into session 8 next Saturday, so looking forward to that. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you to Apex Luther for the use for the bit use of the Tangia extension. Thank you very much for the support, Apex Lucifer. Hope you had a wonderful day, and hope you all had a wonderful day. Hope you all enjoyed today's stream. So yeah, tomorrow we will be continuing with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. We've got some quests to take care of. We've got more story to get through. But yeah, looking forward to that. The stream will be at our normal stream time of 7 p.m. Central Time start time. So absolutely looking forward to seeing you guys there for that. So with all of that said and done, let's see who is available tonight. Who can I send you guys to for tonight's bounty raid? There's a few people I could send you to. Let's send you on over to a wonderful friend, a wonderful VTuber friend of ours, Neko Ella, doing some repo tonight. Yeah, let's go ahead and give Neko Ella the raid tonight. Feel free to copy and utilize the raid message I have posted for you guys. Also, feel free to add in whatever emotes you wish to add in as well. Just give me a moment as soon as Twitch respond. Where are you, Nicola? There you are. Apparently doing playing repo with friends, and apparently with mods as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this bounty raid to give love and support to awesome streamers out there. I'd very much appreciate it if you can join me for that. So with all that said and done, hope y'all had a wonderful day. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Have fun, take care, and God bless to you all. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Time to send you out on your bounty mission. See you all next time. Bye, everybody.